O blessed God, we give you thanks for the gift of life, for making yourself known to us, and especially knowing to me. It has been the Savior of my life and led me on a wonderful path, far greater than I could ever ask or imagine. And so I come here with great gratitude for all that I have received and rejoicing in the mercy of God. I'm Abbot Philip at St. Bede. I came to St. Bede as a freshman. I was born in O.S.B. at the age of 47. After World War II, my father-to-be was looking for a wife, and so he contacted some people, and a woman from O.S.B. said, well, our daughter would like to get married. So she came and they were married, and so I came to be. We actually had, in some cities here, as many as 6 Catholic churches. And so it was a very heavy Catholic area. My father was not Catholic originally. He got Catholic to get married, but he was not really very into it, nor was my mother very into it until I went to Catholic school when it became an issue. And then they were more involved then, but they weren't really into it until I got to St. Bede in high school. And the condition that I had to take care of is I had to pay my whole tuition, which was kind of a challenge for a person like myself who'd never had a job. The good thing about that is getting the experience of what the outside world is like, because I experienced all of these various characters. Perhaps the funniest story that happened is it was the midnight shift in the cement plant, and I was shoveling rocks, and a man was doing something on the wall, putting up pictures and stuff. And I was wondering what he was doing. He knew I was interested in going to the monastery. But in any case, I was working away, and he said, come on over here and sit down. And I came, and he had these 2 chairs set up looking at the wall. And I looked at the wall, and it was nothing but naked women. He said, what do you think about that? And I said, man, God did a damn good job with them, didn't he? And so I sat there, and he said, aren't you going to tear them down? And I said, I didn't put them up. Oh. I said, well, I'm going to do my work now. I got work to do. Oh, I never had any problem because I didn't pay much attention to it. My classmates were really nasty to me because I wouldn't swear, I couldn't drink, and I wouldn't smoke. And they just thought that was the most terrible thing in the world. And I said, what would I want to do that to myself for? And unfortunately, it all came around, and by the time I was a junior, that was all out of the way. And by that time, I'd really come to be comfortable at St. Bede. And so when it came to the time to be thinking about what do I want to do with my life, I had just become a very comfortable place with a lot of comfortable people. And there were a couple of teachers in particular who just made me really think about life, religion, and things like that, so that I decided to come to the junior college, which at that time had a seminary place. And I think at that time, my first year, there were 25 young men looking at the priesthood. Well, there was a wonder, Father Adam was my favorite teacher in my last years in the high school, and also was, of course, a member of the monastery. And he just made it really come alive and really started to give me a sense of the value of faith and the importance for communicating that. And he was a monk at the time, and so it was like my uncle or grandfather coming, and then me coming to be with him. And unfortunately, none of the former St. Bede students that were going to be a priest ended up staying. One is now a diocesan priest somewhere, but he didn't stay. And that was kind of hard losing those people, but by that time I was very much part of there, and I was already getting responsibility for things as a teacher. I never could have dreamt of the experiences that I had, the study I did in Rome. When I was sent to study to Rome, theology, and I got degrees for working with people, and I licensed by the state of Illinois for counseling, and it was just an overwhelmingly exciting and life-giving kind of process. I was being asked to preach at graduations in public schools. The kids insisted, and it gave me a sense of the value of what I wanted to do and what could be done. And so it all really fortified and came to making the final decision about how do I give this up when I can see the good work that it does. I really had a sense of confidence in what I was doing and what I wanted to do, and then just kept moving up the ladder to becoming a prior and all that other stuff that we do. And it just was, I had such a strong foundation and such a tremendous sense of the value of what I was doing, because I had this sense that I was preparing these people for the future and giving them a basis for that. And to see, it was so almost incredible to see what was happening with those young people. But if I had to say, would you want to do it again? I'd say, well, absolutely. I mean, to see the richness of what God can do, to see the richness of what can happen with these kids, to see the people coming back,